Coach Leach has said that he felt like you guys, did a lot of good things on offense, maybe just couldn't finish off drives. I guess what made it so tough against this defense, once you got into the red zone to kind of, capitalize on some opportunities?
They have all like 5-star players. They're pretty good on defense. Coach Smart does a really good job. They had a really good scheme for what we were doing, and it's hard to finish drives on a good team.
Well, cold weather, I know sometimes makes it difficult on your receivers, but tonight drops a little bit of an issue. As the leader of that group, what do you tell those guys? How do you kind of keep them up so it doesn't kind of continue to happen?
I mean, we just have to fix a problem. Probably catch some extra balls this week in practice or something like that, or any way I can help those guys, I'm willing to help. But we got to get it figured out.
Obviously was a big shift in momentum there at the end of the first half. What was it like, seeing a young guy like Xavion come through and make a big play against the number one team?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, he's been telling me for a couple of weeks now that he's going to take one back. So, it's good to see Xavion have some success. But I think he can keep growing. I think he can keep getting better as a receiver. I think he's got a huge upside as a receiver. You obviously see what he can do with the ball in his hands. So he just has to work on his receiving skills, and I think he's going to have a bright future for us.
Well, I asked Coach Leach this. Early in the year, you guys were so good about bouncing back from adversity, whether it was a turnover and the defense responding, or the defense giving up a touchdown, the offense responding, or just overcoming a bad call or whatever. Has that just kind of been a lack of confidence lately in these last 2 or 3 games, or is that something that just comes from moving on to the next play?
What are you saying? We haven't been able to do that? I'm kind of being able to bounce. I mean, yeah, it's just kind of like picking your teammate up. It's just kind of the nature of who we are as a team, as a group, and kind of how we roll together. If one guy gets knocked down, we're going to try our best to pick each other up. We don't always do the best job of that, and sometimes you come up short and don't come through. But when we see a teammate down or a unit on our team down, the other unit's going to try and pick them up.
Speaking to the Xavion punt return, it's a big lift right before the half. What was it like in the half-team locker room, and kind of what was the staff's message to you guys? Obviously you got another half to play, but to kind of get this thing kind of moving forward.
I mean, everybody was just kind of excited at halftime. I don't know what the score. What was it? 17-12, maybe. I don't know, something like that before halftime. You're a one-score game with the number one team in the country. So we were all kind of excited. The staff was, talking about halftime adjustments and things like that. But, I think Coach Leach probably said it. But we just left points out there, which is frustrating. Whether it be, not finishing off a drive, having to kick a field goal, or, not connecting on a touchdown pass, or whatever the case may be. It's just frustrating when you left points out there, especially in the red zone.
Hey, Will, Jaden Wally was off to a little bit of a slow start this season, but he's come on pretty strong and made a couple big plays today. Has that been kind of intentional, trying to get him the ball, or is it just the chemistry has kind of started to click as the season's gone on?
I guess it's just how it worked out. It hasn't been intentional or anything to specifically get Jaden the ball. It's just kind of how it worked out. He's a guy that runs great routes, and some of the looks they were giving us, some of that middle field was open tonight. So I think he did a good job of finding space.
Will, have you noticed anything defenses are trying to do to either take away run calls at the line of scrimmage, or once they're called like that, to really focus on stopping y'all running the ball after you proved in mid-October you could run the ball?
I mean, they just have probably 2 top 15 picks in the interior, so that's kind of tough.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking just on that, how much tougher does it make it on you, even in the air raid offense, when y'all can't really establish any sort of run game?
I mean, it's just tough in general, if people know you're going to pass it, you're one-dimensional. Those are some dang good athletes up front, whether if they're big or not. Those are great athletes, rushing the passer. So it makes it tough, and then it also makes it tough on the back end, when they know what's coming. So, I think we have to do a better job, and it starts with me just as much as anybody, getting us into the right play.
And Coach Leach kind of said he really liked y'all's mentality compared to maybe the Bama game before. What do you see from your team's preparation and getting ready to play the top team in the country?
I mean, we come in kind of like every other game, kind of expect to win. I don't know if anybody in this room or anybody on my team, thinks that we're just going to come out and lose. I don't know. It's kind of a loser mentality, and I don't like that at all.
Well, Georgia's defense is one of the best in the nation, if not the best, and that's what everybody talks about. For you as the quarterback going up against this tough defense, what was, I guess, the message for you specifically heading into this game today?
For me to the teammates?
Just for you going against Georgia's defense.
I mean, they're a great defense. Like I've said, I mean, they're all like 4 and 5 stars, and they're all like really, really good at football. Big, fast, physical. Running the ball very well. Every yard you get against them's earned. They don't give up much. So, I mean, they're just really good. They're a really good team. They have really good coaches, and they don't do anything crazy on defense. Scheme wise and things like that. I think they just have good players, and they just execute the plan well. So it's a credit to their coaches and how they can get good players in there. Appreciate it.
Collin, it seemed like, especially early on in this ball game, you guys are ready to kind of trade punches with Georgia. Why was the mentality about this ball game maybe a little different than maybe some other games in the past? It just felt like you guys weren't intimidated by them.
I mean, that's just how our coaches are. Have pretty much taught us to play. I mean, I don't want to say taught necessarily because I feel like the guys that we got out there naturally have that mindset not to ever fold and to always play the hardest, and whatever you do out there, give it 110%. So I feel like that's just how we are as a team. I don't feel like our team is ever that team to ever lay down and let us team logo or let a team's ranking determine out the game. So I feel like as a team we're just one of those teams that we're always going to give it our best no matter what.
Take us through the interception, if you will.
Yeah. So good little zone coverage that Coach Arnett dialed up for us, and actually I bid on the dig route that was ran by number 0, and I saw the ball in the air, and just players' instinct. Saw the ball in the air, and I went to it, and it was a blessing to be able to get an interception. So I feel like it was just good all around, good call, and T-Week helped me out by getting to the quarterback really quickly. So defensive line put a lot of pressure on the quarterback tonight, so gave us a couple opportunities to make some plays out there and stuff like that. So there was, I feel like it was a good snap all the way around for us.
Collin, you guys, obviously you prepared for it all week, but in a game situation, playing a team like Georgia's offense that relies so much on the tight ends, how hard is that to adjust to when there's something you rarely see during the year? They have good tight ends, man. I think their tight end play speaks for itself. They got, I guess, I would say some of the best in the nation. But one thing about playing in the SEC that you're going to see some good tight ends throughout your entire schedule. So it wasn't anything that we had to readjust for or had to learn or anything like that. I feel like all the weeks of playing SEC ball, building up from then to now, kind of prepared us for this moment. But Georgia's got some great tight ends, man, and that's got some great size. So it was
they were a good challenge, but I feel like we were prepared for it.